Hi everyone, welcome back to workshop number 2 of the Nepal-US AI Hackathon 2025. But before we dive right into it, and again, everyone turn your cameras on. I see Prabhav on the screen, but besides Prabhav, if you guys want to turn your cameras on, we'd love to see everyone's handsome and beautiful faces, eh? I'm scrolling to see if people are turning their cameras on. Okay. Okay, so I know we only have an hour, so I'm not going to take too much of your time, but I did want to give a heads up, bhai. I'll have two quick things to share with you guys after the workshop. So Suru Matse, it's an announcement about the first place prize for the hackathon. And second Matse, also a quick demo of what the mentor booking sheet's going to look like. Because last time, say, workshop ma, I think a lot of you had questions on a mentor matching cost huncha, ke huncha. So I'll run you guys through what that's going to look like. But besides that, I mean, I hope you guys are excited for workshop number 2. So Vinita, I'll pass it straight to you so we can kick this off.
Okay. Thank you, Shreyas. And so everybody can see that slide which says Nepal-US AI Hackathon Workshop 2. Very nice. Okay. Hey, welcome everybody. I don't know how much you know about me. I keep bragging about myself. Okay, so I keep talking about myself many times. It's a good idea to even ask AI how much the AI knows about me. Okay, are you guys ready? Let's hear from AI what AI thinks about me. Hello, do you hear me?
I can definitely hear you loud and clear. Feel free to just keep chatting away.
Okay, so looking at your face, I think everybody can hear me. I'm just looking at my audience. Okay, so all right, everybody's shaking their head means they heard. Very nice. Okay, so I'll come back to you. What do you know about me? Tell me. I want to introduce through you to our audience a little bit. Tell them who am I.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to play the virtual introducer here. So to everyone listening, here's a quick intro about the person you're hearing from. He's the chair and instructor for the Computer Programming Certification Program at UC Santa Cruz Extension in Silicon Valley. He's also a program director at the International Development Institute. In other words, he's a seasoned leader in both teaching and program development with a strong focus on AI education and digital leadership. So you're definitely in good hands today.
Well, talk about a little bit more about my personal thing, what I know. I keep bragging about it.
Of course, let me add a bit of the personal flair you're known for. So, to everyone out there, here's a fun fact. He's got a really deep connection to both Nepal and the US, having started his journey in Nepal, gone through engineering in India, and then eventually making his way to the US for his master's degrees. He's a lifelong learner, a big advocate for AI education, and yes, he's not shy about sharing his passion for lifelong learning and digital leadership. So you're hearing from someone who's got a really rich cross-cultural perspective and a pretty interesting life story.
Talk about, I know it's not about bragging about me, but because of today's workshop will be driven by this conversation. So I just want to tell more about what is my passion about the food, the hunger, education, and things like that.
Absolutely. Let's dive into that. So for everyone tuning in, one of the big passions he brings to the table, beyond all the tech and AI leadership, is a genuine dedication to tackling food security and hunger issues. He's really passionate about making sure people understand the importance of food distribution, especially in places where there's either an abundance or a lack of resources. He's also a big believer in the power of education to lift communities up, and he's eager to share that mission with all of you today. So that's a little peek into what drives him beyond just the tech side of things.
One last thing I want to say is that the vegan diet, do you want to talk about it? And then do you want to talk about where I am right now, about my daughter?
Absolutely. Let's add those in. So for everyone listening, here's another personal touch. He's also a dedicated vegan and has been embracing a vegan diet for quite some time, which definitely ties into his passion for healthy, sustainable living and making thoughtful choices around food. And as a fun little detail, right now he's actually in a park which is a nice, relaxing backdrop for this conversation. And just to share a little family note, he recently became a grandparent. His daughter just had a baby girl, so there's definitely a lot of joy in the family right now. So that's a little window into his world, and I hope that paints a fuller picture for everyone.
Uh-oh. You did a little bit of, boo-boo here. I am still in Auckland right now. I'm not in Nepal. So thank you, though. It's okay.
Oh, my apologies for that slip. Let me set the record straight. So for everyone listening, he's actually joining in from Oakland right now, not from Nepal. Thanks for the quick catch. And of course, all the other details stand. He's got a lot of exciting things going on, and he's just in a lovely spot in Oakland today. Thanks for the friendly correction.
Okay. And please wish them all, they are very excited bunch of people. Why I talked about my plant-based diet and all that. These people are so excited about feeding people. Nobody should go hungry, and they're passionate about the education. And this is what will drive today's workshop also. So that's why I brought it. It's not about me, it's about them, why they are passionate about it. And I see my excitement because of their survey and all that was because my interest aligns with their interest. And that's my excitement with these young folks. Okay.
Absolutely. That sounds like a fantastic group energy. So to everyone out there, consider yourselves warmly wish the best of luck. It's really inspiring to see a bunch of folks who are so passionate about making sure nobody goes hungry and who are deeply committed to education. It's clear that your interests are really aligned with our host's own passions. And that's what's driving all the excitement today. So here's to a great workshop and to all of you making a real difference.
Thank you. Okay, folks. Now really we get excited, okay, and get going. And again, welcome back here. And I will get started, fire my grill. That's what I call it. And any question anybody has it before I get going? All right. So how many folks are here right now? It's interesting. So everybody can hear me well? Okay, so today is all about demo. So what we are going to do is we are going to, of course, use simple thing at ChatGPT, Notebook LM, Google Colab, and we are going to walk through some passion into action. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a vague idea, and what I'm going to do, some idea about my project, right? So I want ChatGPT to do a deep research for me. Okay, while that thing is going on, we'll talk about more about the stuff. So remember, you guys are going to do a project, you'll be given a challenge, and you got to get going with the research, right? And then start working on it, okay? So you just heard the ChatGPT introduce me. So let me go and show you, say, Perplexity, and I'm going to tell Perplexity something. Hey, I have idea about doing deep dive into food security in Nepal. I know Nepal is very fertile, but people in Bumla go hungry. So I want to ask ChatGPT to do a deep dive into this research. Can you please help me write proper prompt? Okay, so what you're seeing right now is you can take advantage of one AI to do something good for another AI, okay? And I always keep on playing this game. Okay, if I don't like one, so I go to another one and make them fight with each other. Okay, so I just got whatever it is for now because it's quick. I don't have time, a lot of time to look at it. Let's see what it did. I go to the ChatGPT, and if you did not know, of course, ChatGPT 5 has come. Of course, you guys know already. I have a plus. I can also go in a thinking mode. If you do thinking, it takes longer behind the scene and does. But I can leave it in this one. But my idea is to do the deep research. So to do that, there things keep changing. I go to deep research, and I'll do this. I'll save this. I don't know what it is. Let me take out this part. It says prompt for deep dive to good security in Nepal. Okay. So let's say I want to conduct a comprehensive research analysis for security in Nepal, although Nepal is known for fertile and having potential, some remote regions like agriculture practices, social geography, location, role of infrastructure, See how nice it is. Already put it there, right? I love that. So I'm going to just fire the grill. It's going to ask me more questions. This is whenever you do the deep research, it will do that for you. It will ask a bunch of questions to clarify. What is your intent used for research? Academic paper, policy report, development project. And I'll say one development project. Two, do you have a preferred time frame for the data? Last 5 years? Last 5 years would do. 5 years would do. Folks, again, I have not done this before. I'm just doing on the fly. So the report include only English language sources or both. Okay. 4, are you interested in comparative analysis with other countries? No. Just Nepal for now. Okay. That's it. So it will take a lot of minutes. So it will start doing it, firing the grill. We don't have to wait there. All right. You guys are okay with me? I hope so. I don't see your faces. How do I see your faces? Let's see. Just say yes or no, okay? All good? Good. All right. So what we are doing for today's goal, right? Let me go back here. So all these, things I want to translate to the concept, kind of prototype, and then deep dive into the code also. So that is the whole thing. So Notebook LM is going to help a little bit, and other AI like ChatGPT, and of course Google Colab, we are going to use it. Perplexity, you already saw. I use it. I use it almost, a lot of them. There is Gen Spark. I don't know whether you have heard or not. It can bring a lot of LM, Gen AI together also. So a lot of interesting stuff. So you guys already know about what you're supposed to do for today. I'm going to do 3 different kinds of hands-on, I would say. One is going to be about the Notebook LM, okay? Another one is going to be making custom ChatGPT. There is a good reason for that also. And then we'll do the RAG with a Colab, okay? RAG system. So we'll talk about, again, RAG a little bit in more detail. For those of you who are new or don't know, I'll show in a slow-mo kind of things, okay? So the quick refresher, okay? So what you need to do it is make sure, remember you only have 36 hours. So you should pick a narrow user task, set a success metric, and design a short demo path, right? Work in roles, your roles among the team, time box it, and you should integrate daily to avoid Sunday surprises. Your story beats the few features because story matters. So don't start just packing your features. More features you added, more troubles you are looking for. So problem, approach, demo, impact, right? That's what is important. Those are the stories. Finally, keep the repo clean, README, branches, PR, again, make sure keep checking in. And don't forget to celebrate what worked, keeping the tight scope and early demo path, short build cycles, as I told already. Don't make the scope creep, and scope creeping, tool hopping, last minute merges, they are the recipe for disasters, okay? So you should counter with a must-have list, twice daily integration, and a single chosen stack, okay? For each artifact, define done as, runs, clear, and repeatable, okay? Important, what is a fair play? Prep learning, planning, data curation, and generic scaffolds, they are fine, but do not pre-build or pre-record your final submission. Of course not, because you have not built it. Keep an audit trail of sources and licenses. That's a good practice. And only use, things has been already told. Record everything in your README. That's the best way to do it. All right. Very quick introduction about the Notebook LM. I'm pretty sure many of you already use it. Students, researcher, everybody should use it. And for our purposes also, when you're building it, this will help. I showed you already during the deep research of whatever topic, whatever you are doing it, you can take advantage of the AI to the deep research for you, okay? Think about it. It can go to so many places to get your data. If you already know the source of the data and all that, you can give those URL also to say, go look for it. For example, if you are very focused on Nepal or US, Kaggle is the place for the US, or data.gov for Nepal, Nepal Census Bureau has tons of data. In 2020, Nepal had run census, and then that data is such a rich data, people don't even know. Nepal government has done. In fact, if you are a statistics junkie, if you compare apple to apple, Nepal collected way more data than the US Census has it. So, but problem is, it's not being. Okay. All right. So, folks, if you are not directly talking to me, please mute your mic. Thank you very much. Okay. So what I was saying is there are a lot of data. So you can go to that Census Bureau data. You can just say Nepal Census Bureau. You can get those information. Okay. So we can, I'll just walk through this one and then go to the notebook. Open Notebook LM and create a fresh notebook named for your team and project. You can then put the data and use that notebook to create quick AI created podcast to hear about it. You can separate data depending upon what kind of data you have. You can create FAQs, for example, when you are creating your AI, whatever AI you are using, you want to give the question and answer as an example. All those things you can pre-build through the Notebook LM. It's amazing tool, can help you with a lot of things, okay? So what you can do it is bring in a minimal high quality set of PDFs, URLs. In fact, it can see a lot of, the source could be, in a YouTube, it has to be publicly available information. For videos, what I found is if in the video you have an audio version of it, if you don't have a transcript, it's much better to do, very quick transcript and quick information from there, okay? Avoid dumping long text and all that in the chat. Instead, you create a file and then upload it. I'll just show you everything, but still just the review is good. Use the tight prompts that force the model to rely on sources to produce citations. You should think And if you're going to create a RAG system, we'll talk about that pretty soon. You should think the RAG system would be the notebook LM is a RAG, really, okay, and very good RAG, because it will not hallucinate and go out like ChatGPT and other Gen AI has potential of hallucinating more, but notebook LM will not, because it will stay in the lane of the information you are giving. Okay. So yeah, do that. I'll show you how that works. So separate chats versus sources. This one I'm talking about, I'll show you a use case that might help you when I'll go to the demo. I created one application about plant-based whole food diet. I was so interested. I'll talk about this story. And it's a truth that since 2024 January I became vegan, but vegan also very, how do I say, I call it extreme vegan, meaning I don't take any processed food. Any means nothing, meaning anything ingredient, I don't see it. It's one ingredient food. I eat like a Nepali sadhu. I don't know. Sadhu is also kind of nowadays. I don't know what kind of sadhu is there. But think about the old days. You only eat from the grain, whatever comes out. And I told you, right, in the first time I want to live for 136 years. That was not hyperbole. It's a reality. I don't take oil, nothing processed. If you make an oil and I eat oil separately for cooking, that's called processed. I don't even eat that. So you might say, how does he eat and what does he eat? Guess what? My family members are just crazy about me and they get so frustrated what to cook. And that's why I did this. I said, you know what? Let me help them out with my research and give them whenever they want to feed me and don't know what to feed me. Okay, go in there. So there is an application available for them to find out what my dad eats or what my husband eats. Okay. so think about how I'm solving this problem in the whole world by doing this, right? No, it's a hyperbole, but one person at a time can make a lot of statements and do it. So what I'm talking is this person called Lalit Mohan Kapoor. He got advantage. He got benefited by doing this extreme diet himself. He had a lot of problems, and he dropped a lot of medicines, meaning he reversed the diabetes, heart conditions, and a lot of other things. So it's very, very interesting stuff. But again, the idea is the story. That's what I'm talking about a little bit on the background, where you are so much passionate about something, you can do a lot of things. So, right, I'm very passionate about this food, so I went and did something. So this guy runs every month for 2 months. He runs a chat in WhatsApp, and that chat has a full of information. It's so much of information that this 1,000 people joined. 1,024 is the, I think, group number of people, and he gives so much of information at the end. I don't know, in Nepali you have heard or not, there's a saying, सिंगै रामायण कहिसके सीता कसकी जोई भनेको you tell whole lecture and somebody will ask a basic question at the end, say, what is AI again? So that's called that, right? If after you hear all about Ramayana, you don't know, Sita was wife of Ram. So the people also will ask same question about what he has already said in the beginning. But I found an opportunity to help him to create an AI-based system where if people get confused, even I get confused, and I don't know how to get the recipe and all that. So that's how I did it. So these things, when I copied this information from the chat after the two-month period, it was so much of information, it's mind-boggling how to process it. So I took Notebook LM, and then I chats of the people versus his sources, his information, decipher everything, bring it FAQs and all that I did to be able to create for my custom GPT, okay, which I'm going to show you very quickly. So anyway, this is what I did. I'm going to show you how you guys can do similar thing and make the RAG based. These will be the source for me. That's how I used it, and you can utilize similar thing for yourself. And just now we fired that deep research. We'll look at what it has created and go from there. Okay. So let me show you a demo of my notebook LM. So what is notebook LM? Let me show you here. So I don't know if you guys are using notebook LM or not. Where is my notebook LM? Here it is. So it is notebooklm.google.com. Okay. And as long as you have a Gmail account, you can log in, you'll get it. You can see it, how much I use it. I have so many projects. Okay. So many projects. Last, election time, somebody asked me how many Nepali last names are there. So I was doing the research for that. And, it's mind-boggling. How brain works, dynamic programming. Yeah, bunch of them. So let's look at these 5 pillars of health. This is the place where I brought all this research. So when you look at things, what happens is you can bring your sources here. In the source, when you add it, you can add different kinds of source. You can look at it here. You can get the Google Docs, Google Slides. You can have the link for the URLs or the YouTube also, or copy paste the text also. But good idea to keep your files. Why it is good is, look at in here. Say, suppose you want to chat where the source is only this, you can uncheck this and check this. This is how you should do it, okay? And then you can ask questions based on that. You say, hey, I want to create a FAQ. I want to do this. I want to do that. And separate this, separate that. And then every time something you do it, you should, like, for example, and then create a note out of that. Please write 12 points of this vegan diet as Lalit writes, something like that. So this will allow you to create all the materials for your actual applications you'll be building. So again, remember, this itself is a kind of RAG, okay? So here it is, adopt a plant-based whole food diet, eliminate animal-based food, avoid refined ultra-processed food, eat with all 5 groups, blah, 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 okay? So this is not important. Important is how you are doing the research and getting ready. Then there is a studio. This is my fun part of the research. Okay, here you can create a video also. You can have a plant-based path to wellness. It shows you can create a notes. You can have audio, that type of audio. Also, there's a podcaster. They come in here. Videocaster also happens nowadays. So lots of things in here what you can do. So again, what this will help you is, it will help you in creating your data, for your real application, what you're going to do. Okay. All right. With this, let's go back to our application. So Notebook LM, again, that's what it is. Okay. So now I want to go with the custom GPT. Okay. What is custom GPT is very quick prototype, I'll say. But, this, I'm thinking of even the custom GPT could be an application, because if you really think Perplexity has got same mother, meaning is also in GPTs 4, 5, it is based on that. So it's a grand, big custom GPT really. That's what I think about. But of course, it has a different layer. Of course, it is like multi-billion dollar company. So they have put a lot of effort in that. But in the grand scheme, when it really started, it was like that because, um, you know, the CEO, was not very happy with how ChatGPT was giving the output because he wanted to do the research, he wanted to do the citation right away because ChatGPT doesn't do it unless you ask for it. From there, it started and it became a big company, right? So again, imagine most of the big companies' ideas are so simple. So you guys also can have that profound, effective application developed um, in this time, in this weekend. You could do that also. All right. So let's think about the custom GPT. What is custom GPT? Use the builder to set clear instruction when you are creating a custom GPT. It is a no-code assistant, right? No code needed. Deploy it for focus intake, policy answers, and guided workflows. Then you can share via links with your friend also. If it is just kind of POC, half an hour, you can take half an hour to get the idea out. It ships quickly and only answers reliable within what you upload. So let the GPT handle the front door UX and route deeper queries to your RAG app later on. So how do you create a custom, the instructions and all that? Write a tight mandate, naming the user, the task, and how success is measured, right? So choose a persona and tone, and this is exactly what your system should look like. And cap response length to keep output crisp. Specify the exact format you want to request citation when needed, and rules to ask for sources and uncertain and to decline out of scope requests. You can say that, hey, I don't know, right? So what you should do it is create a small high signal corpus, meaning your data, and avoid noisy materials. Version every file so changes are traceable at a glance. Keep a one-page knowledge notes, file recording scope, owner, and last updated date. Purge updated or conflicting dot immediately to prevent contradictions. So begin with read-only integration to minimize risk while testing. Apply timeouts, rate limits, and allow list to bound the tool behavior, record failures, and basic retry logic for the stability. So disable the sensitive actions though, okay, and sensitize the inputs to defend against injection of the P2 leaks. Sometimes it can happen, okay. So validate with a small good goal set, including questions it should decline, rerun the set after each edit, and log what changed and why. Publish brief usage notes covering scope, gaps, and how citations are handled. Share the link and confirm it. Teammate can reproduce the same answer end to end. Okay. So let's look at this custom chat GPT I made it. Okay, custom GPT I made it. Before I go, what I want to show you is actually this this custom GPT I made it dawned on me this morning. Basically when I was washing dishes. I wash dishes, a lot of idea come in my head because it's such a not brainy task. My brain slows down and it becomes very creative. Remember, your brain becomes creative when there is no busy task going on. So anyway, so I wanted to do this, and then as the ChatGPT AI lady introduced me, and I told you that it's not in vain. Everything what I ask is related with what I'm saying. So a custom GPT idea came today at my daughter's place, and think about it. I'm baby boomer, millennial, baby boomer time, baby boomer guy, right? And my daughter is Gen Y. So now the baby born is Gen Beta. Okay, so think about, you guys are kind of Gen Z, Gen X, Gen G, should be Gen G. But Gen Beta was born. So now think about the generation gap. Think about how much generation gap you have. And though I'm here since 1985, I feel I'm American, I know the culture, but no matter what, at the end of the day, I'm a Nepali, got all my education in India, Nepal, and all that. So I'm very Nepali. So, and then my daughter was born here. She's very much American, but is still Nepali. So now still there is a lot of gap. No matter how much we want to be part of her, motherhood and help her, there is a lot of gap. A lot of gap. You will be surprised. Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, they have a gap. So for us, there is a lot of gap. Though I feel like I'm very advanced and then I am very adaptive. It's not easy to communicate, and because when my daughters were growing up, we did certain way. Janu ko jhol khanu parcha, this that, right? Now that's not here. So I was thinking, oh my God, how do I bridge this gap when people like us would have a problem? But think about a mom coming from Humla, or a mom wants to help a daughter or son here to raise kid, tel visa ma आउँछन् सबैजना. Now, how do they communicate? Join खान आउनुहोस् भन्दाखेरि join might not know what is join, or buhari do this one, and then it is kind of tough. Think about that problem separate. So for me, I thought, what? Think about, if we are raising, grandkid, what would be a good way to help my daughter, and then narrow the gap between trying to tell what is the Nepali system, what is the American system, how do I do that? Anybody or everybody can get help. So long story short, let me share one GPT I just created. Okay. So let me see. This is just this morning. So this one is custom GPT, newborn advisor for Nepali grandparents. Do you see that? So, okay, let me share this one with you guys. You guys can also copy link address, maybe, right? I think that's what it is. Okay, let me put in the Zoom chat. Zoom chat. All right, so everybody can see this. Hopefully, I think so. Okay, so you guys can also see it. So here, so what you see it here is Nepali advisor for, by the way, what I had started is like a pediatrician talking. It refused to publish it. It would not, ChatGPT will not publish it because it was like a medical advice. I could not do that. So I iterate and said that just the advisor. Okay, a warm and knowledgeable advisor who advises Nepalese grandparents in simple Nepali on newborn. And so छोरीको स्वास्थ्यको लागि परम्परागत र आधुनिक सल्लाह के हो? So if you click, it's a pre-built. I put it there for the people so that they don't know what to ask. They can ask like this. हजुर आमा, हजुर बाज्यू, हजुर बुबाज्यू, छोरी रिनाल स्वास्थ्य परम्परागत आधुनिक दुवै सल्लाहलाई मिलाएर जानु उत्तम हुन्छ. परम्परागत ज्वानुको झोल, गर्मिलो खानपान, आराम र न्यानो राख्ने चलन, स्तनपान, सुत्ने तरिका, खोप. So, I'll tell you, this started from the fact that we always thought giving the warm milk, and here kids did not know all those details, and they will give the very cold milk. And then the doula came in one day, which is a helper, and then she said, no, give a little bit warm milk. And we're like, yes, gotcha. That's what we wanted. You guys won't listen to us. And now listen to them. And then, this is how this idea came about. I said, please talk about sorry if you're hearing the ring, it's my daughter's garage door opener. Okay. तातो दूध बारेमा दुई पक्ष हेर्नुपर्छ। परम्परागत सोच, बच्चा जन्मेपछि आमा र बच्चालाई तातो न्यानो खानेकुरा दिनु राम्रो मानिन्छ। तातो दुधले आमालाई आराम र ऊर्जा र दूध बढाउन मद्दत गर्छ भन्ने छ। राति सुत्न अघि आमा तातो दुधको आधुनिक शिक्षा अनुसार आमाले दुध पिउनु र नातिनीलाई अहिले केवल आमाको दुध चाहिन्छ। आमाले भने बिहान बेला anyway, okay. I want to see your face. You guys, do you guys like this? What's going on? Let's see the smiley face. Nobody's smiling. Okay. Okay. So the point I'm making is this. How do I come up with this whole thing, and how do I create a custom GPT? I'll walk you through very quickly here. This idea, I wrote it in here first. No, this is different. I have another one here. What I did was I want to create a custom GPT. I asked Perplexity completely what I wanted, and then step by step give me. So it gives me all the steps to create this. Start creating custom GPT, and then find the places where you want to define the name, all the tools, blah, 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 everything it tells me. But I said, you know what, why should I do it? You tell me everything. And then it did all the persona and all that. Of course, I had to change everything, okay? And then role and responsibility, it put it in there. Language guidelines, culture and traditional context, everything it put me there. So again, remember, this will help you in your RAG also. Exact same way you will do it. Interaction styles, okay? Keep going. And some question and answer, you can give as an example, put it together, all these things, okay? And then I also ask, I'm lazy. I give every work to the, Gen AI to give me. So it gave me all these things in here so that I can cut and paste and put it together, okay? Maybe I'm scrolling too fast, but let me share with you right in here. If I go to, go here and edit the GPT. So basically, whenever you do the create in the GPT, let me go back one more time to show you where you start is here. So if you do GPTs, you come in here and you have to just click on create to get started if you want to create anything. So here is a create and then configure. So usually you have to put here name, description, all the instructions you want to give, conversation starter. Meaning, remember there was conversation already there. So this is the place where you do it. Let me show you in mine one how it looks like. So here it was pediatrics, but it did not let me fly. So I had to change it. Then here it is, description and instruction. You are a warm, knowledgeable persona for newborn in US, and all those things. You just put it in here, all the details about what to do, what not to do. And here it is. Accept questions in English or Nepali, but always respond in Nepali. That was my last statement there, so that it always gives me in the Nepali, okay? Conversation starter, all this conversation you see here, like this, it comes from here. You can write down whatever important thing. As you go, it will give you more place automatically in here to add it. And then any guidance and all that you want to put it here. This is the knowledge base. You can put it here. You can put other sources also, okay? And what kind of model you want to use it, do that. And other actions. Web search is allowed or not allowed, because if you don't want hallucination and all that, you can say not allowed, okay? This is how you do it. But this one should give you good ideas and all that in what your actual application can be. And guess what? Again, if this is good enough and has real potential, you can have your own idea as a custom GPT as well. All right. Now, let's move on to the next. See why it is not doing it. Okay. Now, what we are going to do it is talk about the RAG. Okay. So it says RAG is retrieval plus generation. Okay. So RAG finds relevant text first and only then asks the model to answer. So the relevant text is your duty to give. Remember, I put all the information in the notebook LM. I told you all the relevant information you create and then create your system. So that way is grounding the responses in your corpus, meaning your own data. That will cut the hallucination significantly because each stage is modular. You can upgrade any piece without rewriting the rest. Okay. And use it whenever correctness depends on the documents you control. Okay. So let me describe some of the vocabulary. I'm pretty sure you should already know, but let's understand it. Sometimes the jargon will come on the play. So you will hear about vector. Okay, what is a vector? Vector is just a list of numbers that stands in for an object's features. For picture coordinates in many dimensions, each number is one axis. After we encode data like text, images, or categories, we can compare items by distance or angle of this coordinates you should think of, okay? Which is the basis of similarity search. So that's the vector. And then you will see embeddings. What is embedding? Embeddings are the vectors a model learns from the raw inputs such as the words or images. So they compress, the complexity into a space where important relationships are preserved. So similar things land near each other. There's a lot of complexity goes on, but remember, Gen AI is all about prediction, right? It's just the predicting. So how does it predict? Is who's nearby, who is most likely to be the next word. That's what it predicts. How does it do? Embeddings. That property powers similarity search, clustering, and the retrieval step in RAG. Okay. So you will hear the word corpus, and you will hear the word chunking. Corpus. What is the corpus? Corpus are vetted sources you put together because you trust them. Keep the corpus small and trustworthy. Quality beats the quantity. So split documents into modest chunk with a bit of overlap so context isn't cut mid through. Okay. So attach simple metadata, document name, chunk ID, and a source link. So answers can be traced and cited. So trim boilerplate and duplicates to reduce the noise. Okay. And then the storage. Where does this data get stored? So vector database holds your vectors and their metadata for quick lookups. So there is something called FAISS, Facebook AI Similarity Search. What is this? It's in an open source library from Meta for efficient similarity search and clustering on large, high dimensional, dense vectors. And Chroma is a Python-friendly alternative with persistent and easy metadata filtering. Under the hood, so an index speeds, indexing, I don't know if you know or not how the indexing works, is indexing will be depending upon the ID kind of thing, and then that will point to the big data. So what it does, eventually it will speed up the queries. Okay, if you have taken database classes, not the SQL I'm talking about, the internals of the database, you'll know about index a little bit more. So an index is speed up queries and similarity scores, cosine or inner product. Those are the similarity scores. So they tell us how close the match is. And then you'll hear the top K. What is top K? Controls how many chunks we bring back. Start small to limit the noise, just the top ones, top 3, 4. The retriever encodes the user's questions, queries the index, and returns the best matches. While a re-ranker can improve ordering of the initial list, if the initial list is messy, grounding means the model must answer only from the retrieve context. Don't go, secondary sources. And citations are like doc number, chunk number, like that, okay, together. So that make each claim is auditable, so from where it brought it, okay. So how does it look? How does the architecture look like? Okay. So first, split text into manageable chunk and attach metadata. Second, embed chunks and store vectors in FAQs or chroma. Third, retrieve the top K hits for a query. Finally, build a prompt from those hits and generate an answer, include the citation. This is how it's going to do. Remember, what we saw is Notebook LM is already an application, right? We used it for our, data creation kind of ideas. And then we did, custom GPT to kind of have a prototype kind of idea. And then now, those will not allow you to have a lot of customization. The application, real application should have a lot of customization, a lot of control. You don't have a control on how Notebook LM works, custom GPT also, you don't have control. You can only give the interfaces. You can only give a little bit of control here and there. You cannot write like different types of dialog boxes and all those, right? So, sorry, let me see if there is a chat. I gave the chat. We released during the hackathon. Okay. Okay. All right. Moving on. So again, you need some kind of tool to be able to run this kind of system because you are writing the code, you have a lot of controls. There are a lot of, you can have Anaconda, you can have even Visual Studio Code, and there are many others, including Google Colab. I use Google Colab for various reasons, and many people also use it. Only thing is you don't have control over GPU and all that. You may have a good machine, you can utilize it, but I still go with the Google Colab. So Colab CPU is fine for a small RAG, but I get stuck with it. Takes a long time to run it. Enable GPU if available, install 5 CPUs, sentence transformers, Chromolab, Gradio, and OpenAI, all these things you can use it. If you hit important errors, restart runtime and rerun the important cell, rerun the import cell, use, you can confirm the hardware, whether NVIDIA, SMI, you can even proceed even without GPU, okay? All right. So secrets, how to add API keys safely. So remember, if Google Colab will not be able to read your API keys when you store it. You don't want to give it directly in the code. So there is a way to safely keep that one. I'll just show you during the demo time, okay? Paste it. And similarly, file loading also not easy because Google Colab will not be able to read your file. So there is a different way you can upload your files and all. You can define data directory. Of course, you can have, you can mount your drive. The best way to do it is to mount your Google Drive and then it will be persistent, right? Centralized config, so teammates can tweak parameters in one place. Of course, you can always share your Google Colab. Okay. Let's say. So data ingestion. How do you do chunking, metadata, size overlap, and all that? Extract text once and clean it to avoid noisy inputs. And I told you, again, raw data chunk is different. This chunking has to be done through the program, okay? So that time when you're chunking it, make sure it overlaps it, and then the library will take care of that overlap part. It is a good idea not to keep the gap. So capture the metadata so you can cite and trace the answer. You should favor a lean, high signal corpus over dumping everything. I found a hard way that if you give too much instructions to your ChatGPT or any Gen AI or anything you are building, that's not a good idea. It can get confused. Okay. So now there is something called an embedding part. We talked about the embedding, right? Creating the vector part of it, the process of creating it. Mini-LM offers a good speed quality trade-offs for demos, normalize embeddings and use FICE inner product to approximate cosine, save a sidebar mapping so retrieve ID is resolved to text and metadata. If you need built-ins like filtering, try Chroma. Okay. So retriever function, create a small function that encodes the query and searches. Let me see, where are we at the time? Okay. So the encodes query and searches the index, return the match text with scores and metadata for prompting, keep the top K, right, to reduce the noise and add simple filters when useful. So judge the quality against your goal set to avoid the subjective tuning. So prompt template. So grounded answer with citations, state explicitly that the model must use context only, include numbered snippets and their identifiers in the prompt, require citation next to claim so outputs are auditable, limit length to keep the model focused on retrieved text. Set the temperature low to prioritize consistency over creativity. Wrap calls in a retry loop with short back off for transient errors. Stream partial tokens so users see progress immediately. Yeah, you should stream it so that they know that something is happening. If something comes, remember in the beginning, Gemini and all that will just blurt out everything and it didn't look good. And OpenAI was always good. ChatGPT always showed that as if it is thinking. It was very nicely streaming as if it is thinking and writing it. On failure, return a clear message and log the error. So it's a good idea for UI. Use very single text box, things like that. Do not clutter it. I always get mesmerized with Google simplicity in the UI. So you should do that, okay? And then test and evaluate, have the questions, make sure this, failures are communicated and tracked, whether answers are correct or not, okay? Classify misses to understand whether retrieval to generation or failed. Adjust chunking. Sometimes chunking and K will adjust your answer. That is during the testing phase. If calls fail, check your API key is present. Yeah, API key is always giving me trouble. When files aren't found, print paths and list directories. That way you know how to debug. For import errors, restart and use pinned versions. Okay. All right, I should show you plan B options. Let's forget about it. And remember how the judges are expecting it. But before we go there, let me help you look at this. Okay, so what I'm going to share you next is the notebook LM, which I'm going to show you, and you can run yourself. Let me copy the link, and I'm going to put in the chat. If you are, what I would suggest, overfitting is called hallucinations. Okay, I would suggest is, here is a Colab link. What you should do it is, don't use the same notebook, create, save as, create a duplicate for yourself, okay? Don't use mine one directly, copy it, okay? Yes, it works. Thank you very much. Let me show you here. What is it? Okay, so this is what I shared with you all. Okay, maybe a good idea to stop sharing that part of it and start sharing this part of it. Let me share this screen. Screen one. Just for this part of it. Okay, here is, let me see if I have everything in here. All right, so this is a simple RAG system. Feel free to use it. Very quickly, what I was trying to say is when you have your system created, you can just say file new, new notebook in Drive. So you start here like that. You could also file duplicate it, okay? So you can say save a copy in Drive, that will be your copy, and use that one, okay, instead of the one I gave you, okay? All right, now let me, okay. So what we are seeing in here, let's try to pay attention here. We are using Mistral AI. Now,
Just real quick, I think chat matse there's a couple of people that said requires access panera.
anybody got successfully accessing it? Anybody was successful in doing it? Nobody?
Can you guys type chat no Ray?
No. Okay. Let me do another way.
No, access मांगिरहेछ दाइ.
Access मागिरहेछ. Let me see how it does it. Share मा चाहिँ नि हेर्नु त. Not restricted. Let me see anyone with the link. Okay. Copy the link. Let's do that one more time. Thanks for doing that, folks. I think we can do it. Where is my chat?
It works now.
Huh? It works now. Same link should work now, right?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay. All right. While you guys are there, let me see one thing. What we ask ChatGPT do for us. Okay. Where was it? Food security in Nepal, right? Remember, we asked it to do the research for us about the food security. That's a deep dive. Look at the information in here. Recommendation and intervention, case study, Humla district. This is just mind-boggling, folks. If you have not done it, please do it. I can't live without it. I have created so many human-eyed documents this kind of way. And regional disparities in food security, what's going on. And you can see it. It is coming from ResearchGate, NGO Federation.org. Nepal shows progress in global hunger index, rank 69. So this is from here it starts. So I could share this one with you all. Okay. And here is another link. Create a link. Our research. Okay. For example, and let me download this. I can download as a PDF. I can download as a doc. Okay. And what also I'll do, I have too many things open here. Let me go to the download folder. We have the food security in here. Let me enable editing. I'm going to save as. What kind of save as it will allow me to do? Let's see, in the download, does it allow me to do the text? Okay, I want to do as a text for good reason. Let's do the text, okay? Okay, all right, let's go back to our Google Colab. So if you look at it here, you guys can just keep going. We are going to use this Mistral AI for it to work, what we are doing. And everything is described in here, what I just went through. Vectors, what kind of vector we are using, what kind of interface we are using, So we go to install the library. The API key you got to have. So whatever you are using it, you got to go and use this API key. You can add your new secret. So this will stay in the session. Whatever API key you have to add it, put it in here and add your key here. Okay, this is how you do it. Another thing what I want to show you here is if you want to upload a data or something, this is the place you want to do it. If you do, because remember this is a web-based, so it does not know about your local, and from here you can directly query it. You can use the data from here, or you can always mount your drive, okay, Google Drive. Okay, so then you have to keep going with this. Install your libraries, and then you can look at it here. What happened? It gave me a lot of problem. I wanted to check out if the SDK was okay, if the Mistral got correctly done, if my API keys were read. So all this verification also you can have it so that you don't run into problem later on. So here is the code which will allow you to do that. All the verifications and all that, you can test it out here. So let's see if this gets in, okay, this is okay. This error is fine. Moving on to do this and run this check. And then it will ask you to grant the access to look at your API key. So give the access. So it tells me that everything is okay for me, everything's verified, okay? Now, so for the SDK, so import all the libraries here, then check for it. SDK again, but you don't need it. and defined all the constant needed later on for chunking. Remember, we talked about the chunking, embedding, and all. So you can say that what is the best size, and this is the one you have to, if your answers are wrong, you can make the size big, how much the overlap you want between the chunks. These are the things you have to define. The top K also, number of chunks to retrieve, by default. API key, print the status. Okay, so here it is. So this is how it's written right in here. You can see that API keys and all that is received in here. Okay, so this goes all, our SDK are fine. Install API key is also okay. Now, uploading the data file. Either you can do the data file directly, or you can have a UI, or you can also have this files upload, which I found the most easy way to do it. Again, it's your choice. But of course, in the README file, make sure that you add those details for the folks, okay? Judges. So here it is. Okay, so in here, I want to choose my file. So just for the purpose of this presentation, remember we did the food security. I've never done it. I'm just going to do it with you. So let's upload that file, okay, which we just did research on. So I'm uploading this. Okay, food security just uploaded. I don't even know whether it will work or not. 16,000 bytes. Okay. So now we got to do the clean and chunk. Okay. So basic clean, chunking text, and execution. So, some of the things you want to clean up, your data. So chunking it like that. So let's do that. Let's see how it works. All right, this also seems to be working fine. Now comes embedding part of it, okay? Build embeddings and FICE index. So let's do this. Mistral SDK, of course, it is already there. API is done. We have already checked that. Done. Then call this embed text and all that. Generate embeddings, normalizing, indexing, okay, and mapping with the IDs. So this goes on. Let me run the code here. Okay. Sorry, this time I didn't have time to give you to break or something, okay? Okay. Now comes retrieval part. Okay. So these are just the, function, helper function for searching, retrieving. Okay. Here comes a little bit of, sanity check kind of thing. Building the prompt. Let's see if it is coming from our legacy, whether it will matter or not. Let's say, okay, let's run this. This is simply the functions in here. And this is our smoke test. Summarize the key takeaways. Okay, let's see what happens. This is already there. You could do something else. You can write something code and then see what happens. Okay. Summarize the key takeaways. That's what it is, right? So this is our smoke test. We'll go home. All right, I think it is working fine. Sustainable innovation, organic farming. Of course, it has not polished it to give you the output, but looks like it did it. Policy coordination, think about it. We all know about Nepal. Look at the problem in Karnali Pradesh, increased resources. Karnali is the, our food drought place, right? Every time you hear the Karnali people don't have rice. So this looks like this is a good Oh, I like this one. Women cooperatives is a good idea because they will be the one who are more concerned and they don't blow up the cooperatives like other people do. If you follow the Nepali, policies. Yeah, I like this. Okay, so this is working for us, friends. For us now, Gradio. I had problem last time, so I'm not sure if it will give me the trouble or not. But this is like text box. This is like having the UI, and then this is the one which you can publish it. So you can have Gradio query. You can create your own. You can write your own output, but you can take some familiar ones, which is like a cookie cutter already available to you. You can create your own text box and all those kind of things. So you do here, and let's see if it works for me or it my license expired or whatever. Okay, so here we can launch it. Okay, at least up to here we are good. Drought. How do you spell drought? Drought? Let's see if this works. Huh. I love this. Oh, this is the metadata. No, I mean full text, but did it give me the answer? Ah, I like it. So guys, do like this. It says that there is no content. It should say that I don't know. So there was no mention of a food drought. So it said that. All right. With that, my friends, I think I want to stop right in here because I think we are already going over the time.
Q&A like holding na Binit bhai.
Us. Let's see, where are we? Give me 1 second, okay? So the tips and all that you guys already know. Last time I already did it. So open for the Q&A. Let me have my chat up here. Could we get some clarity on type of project with some timeline examples? Aha, that is a Pragya Binit question. in order to be fair, we'll only providing with the challenge during the thing. Okay, 15 minutes overtime, just wanted. All right. So I don't know. Pragya Binit, right? The challenge versus the project, again, is it challenge is a project or project is a challenge?
So I already answered in the chat, but just to reiterate, we will have a challenge description that we will release during the hackathon, and you and your teams will be building projects based off of that challenge.
Yeah. So okay, if I take it from there, frankly, I don't know anything about it. Okay, so that's good. I like it that you guys didn't tell me. Otherwise, I'll be spill the bean. Right. So, but without knowing anything about the challenge, if I were you, because think about you are using the creating AI tool, so you should know that groundwork. You should know what you are supposed to do. All these things you should have already known. You need to know foundation. And then the things I walk you through are the tools for you to go rapidly going. Okay. So say, okay, whatever it is, it's unknown. So Gen AI, think about it. When I started with a Fortran 4 where there was no computer to do it. For you, things are in your fingertips. You can be getting information faster, quicker, leaner. 4 or 5 of you are together. So make sure everybody already knows. Right now, from now until the day, you have so much of time. You can do the iterations. You can say, okay, suppose this was a challenge, this is how we would do it. You can run a dry demo, dry work, for example. Say that this is how we are going to do it, and this is how we communicate with each other. Nobody slacks. Every 1 hour, everybody pings in the Discord. Say that, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. That so get that ground going. The excitement will take you over the hump. Pragya, did I say it?
Yeah, that was perfect. Just to add, so in order to be fair to all the participants, we don't encourage anyone to start working on any sort of project beforehand. That's also one reason why we have the challenge part. But what you can definitely do is, like Binit said, uh, form teams, discuss on roles, positions, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, how do you want to leverage each other's strengths. For example, someone might be good with the design part of it, right? So they can focus, so they can have this role assigned as the designer for the hackathon. Someone might be good at maybe AI modeling. Someone might be good at the software engineering or machine learning engineering part. So we strongly encourage you to have that conversations going right now, and also maybe think about like how do you want to distribute work, how do you want to manage conversations, what medium you want to use uh, to communicate with each other during the hackathon. Basically, have everything set up and ready for you to perform your best during the competition. So I think there is a question in the chat. When will team up happen? One of the team members could not register the second time. So what happens in that case? So all the participants list is complete for this year. So everyone who has received communication regarding their acceptance, confirmed participation, if everyone is in the Slack, that's the number of participants that we're going to have. In order to answer the question of teaming up, you are free to start teaming up right now. Like I said, and like mentioned in the info pack, you have access to Slack. Please reach out to people that you might be interested in. Post in the team search channel asking if you are looking for teammates. You can also browse through the Airtable directory that we shared that has the list of participants and their information on what kind of skill sets they have, what areas that they're trying to code on, they're trying to build on, and things like that. So we encourage you to start having conversations with people in order to facilitate teaming up. In addition to that, we also will have a team matching Zoom session tomorrow, 9 p.m. EST. So if you need help, we encourage you to please come to that session as well.
So on that note, I have a real quick question, Sabizana, right? How many of you are still looking for a team? You can either raise your hand, यसरी कि त्यसो मुख देखाएर पनि me भन्दा नि हुन्छ है. So we have Kiran, that's
Kiran,
two.
Sandhya,
Mm-hmm.
2 people. That's it.
So
Among them.
three. Okay, let's wait like 10, 15 more seconds. 3, 4.
Seema.
Okay, so basically it seems like a decent amount of you guys are still looking for a team, right? So प्रज्ञाले भने जस्तै I would recommend first Airtable, second जो चाहिँ fit छ DM them, third team search मा चाहिँ just drop that you are looking for a team, right? So that's one. And the second, Matse, I would highly encourage all of you guys who's still looking for a team to join the session tomorrow. So Boritse, it's going to be like more of a networking session. We'll help you match with different people as well. It's going to be very interactive. So त्यो भयो. अब I still have two more things I wanted to mention, but since we are 27 minutes over time, यो prize र mentorship को बारेमा पनि कुरा गरौँ कि what do you guys think? If like more than like five of you say you want to, this way I can like at least like expand on it. Okay, yes, that's one.
A lot
Damn,
of
you
yes.
guys are getting me excited. Okay, oh, video calling away, we would have been more excited. Okay, perfect. There we go. Aryan's there. I know Amul.
Excited.
Okay, perfect. So prize को लागि चाहिँ let me just wrap that up real quick because that's really fast, you know. So I know you guys probably know this, but then to rephrase, so first, oh wow, एकैछिन अझै कुरौँ, okay. Let me wait. एक दुईजनाले अझ भिडियो खोल्छ कि? Okay, so first place ले चाहिँ you get 1500, second place 1000, thirdly 500. तर an amazing thing is first place winner leads, eh? It's not just the 1500. So if you guys have this amazing prototype, I know, and now you want to be like, you know what? Your prototype say, I actually want to launch it. I want to make this a venture, right? So Nepal Codes, which is run by Christina Didzur, his her brother. So they've been in the software industry for 10 plus years. They've helped like a gazillion startups, right? So they're going to give you free mentorship to take you to launch. So that's one. And अर्को चाहिँ I'm not sure if you guys know. So the CEO of Security Pal, so Pukar Dai, he is also willing to offer one-on-one mentorship for the winning team. So that's another thing. Um, Not like an ongoing thing, but at least एउटा session चाहिँ he's open to talk to the winning team and give his insights, and you guys are free to ask whatever you want, right? So is that exciting? Because I feel like you guys aren't excited. Excited, so it's just like the ones who have your videos on. Okay, there we go. So that's one. And second, मा चाहिँ mentor sheet को लागि, right? So I'm gonna share my screen. अनि just run you guys. I'm not gonna take too much time because I know अलिकति delay भइसक्यो. So I'm gonna run through it real quick. अनि if you still have more questions, please the help मा होस् कि email मा होस्, do ping us, right? Because we will reply. Okay, let me share real quick. So if you guys see this, बिनित मैले त हजुरलाई मात्र देख्छु, हजुरले देख्नु भइरहेछ.
मैले त देखिरहेको छु
Okay, perfect. So you would say this is what the mentor sheet's gonna look like. Mentor matching को लागि. सबभन्दा पहिला चाहिँ the way it's gonna run is Friday, okay, 8 p.m. मा चाहिँ all of you guys have to have a team, and that's when you guys register त्योभन्दा अगाडि, right? So once you register, you'll have a team lead as well. So team lead को email, team lead को नाम, and then the team lead is the one that's responsible to one, submit your projects, and two, also select the spots for the mentor matching. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, I'll show you what, and you guys, all of you guys will get this, but I just wanted to run it real quick. So we'll have like a meet our mentors tab or a mentor booking sheet. So meet our mentors tab, Matse, this is the list of mentors we have for the hackathon. So name, affiliation, LinkedIn, all that. I'm pretty sure you guys have already looked into it, but you know, if you want more info, bios for every single mentors as well. So त्यो bio. In terms of the instructions, before I show you what the mentor booking sheet's gonna look like, eh? So you only get to fill two slots, two 30-minute slots. Ani, let me emphasize this because I know someone's gonna make this mistake. All right. So दुईटा मात्र slot हुन्छ, but then if you do pick like 3 or 4 slots, we are very strict with this. So every extra slot you pick, we're gonna give you -1 on your judging points. Ani, then if you're sly like me, I know there's gonna be some funny business going around. So for the mentor sheets, right? So your mentor sheet matse, we have like the list of mentors. We have all the times that they're available. We have 133 slots. So एकदमै धेरै slots छ, right? Because we wanted to make sure we deliver more slots than less. On you blue or matse, please feel free to add like team ABC or whatever, right? So यसमा चाहिँ I really want to be clear about this. Let's say अब कसैले team ABC ले गर्यो and now there's team XYZ, but then you're like, you know what, I want to steal that spot, and त्यहाँबाट कसैले override गरिदियो भने यसरी चाहिँ just making sure we know if that's going to happen because history ma sabैमा हुन्छ, right? So if that's the case and someone complains, hey, मेरो spot चाहिँ your time मा थियो, but then this other team took it, blah blah blah, then we're gonna do that whole auditing stuff. And if we do find out यस्तो भयो भने चाहिँ that's -2, right? So just to wrap it up, this is what the sheet's gonna look like. So you guys are gonna have access to this 9 p.m. Friday 9 p.m. So somebody हुन्छ team leaderले चाहिँ pick like 2 slots from all of these that's available, right? अनि त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ we're pretty sure there's gonna be way more slots that's opening or at least will be open अनि is remaining. So त्यो चाहिँ hackathonको दिनलाई नै specifically छोडिदिएको हो because you're already picking 2 slots, right? तर गर्दा गर्दै let's say you picked a slot for 10 a.m. and the next slot for 7 p.m. But bitsama 2:30 ma you have this trouble and you need to talk to a mentor. Titi bela say if there's someone available and it's gonna be a first come first serve basis. But titi bela boy when it's at least you can directly put your name or hop in the Zoom and then we'll connect you to everyone. And the way it's gonna work is हाम्रो main Zoom हुन्छ. So your main Zoom मा चाहिँ all the mentors are gonna join in. We're gonna create breakout rooms for all the mentors. All of you guys are gonna join in, and then we're gonna start sending all the teams to the specific mentors that's assigned. Right? You sheet based on the sheet. So that's like a quick overview. If you have any questions, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Please let me know now. Going once.
Yeah, besides the appointment, open office hour पनि केही हुन्छ like
when you see open office hour, अलिकति expand गर त आर्यन.
so it's like अब त्यो appointment भएको time back अरु बेला question आयो भने यतिकै कोही like anyone available like in त्यस्तो.
That's a great question actually. So हाम्रो दुईटा 2 ways you can approach it, right? एउटा चाहिँ मैले अघि भने जस्तै boom, you check the time and your time is available छ कोही मेन्टरसँग छ भए चाहिँ you can directly hop on that time. अब त्यो भएन भने चाहिँ Slack मा चाहिँ all the mentors are in Slack, right?
Okay.
So you can be like and we can probably do something on our end as well तर just ping anyone, okay? यस्तो यस्तो problem भयो or like social मा यस्तो भयो or help मा भयो हैन can I be connected to some mentor कि त अब mentor chat मा पनि if like some mentors available त्यति बेला DM सिधै गर्न पाए नि. So that's the 2 different routes you can take.
Okay, thank you.
Ani, I think like we hope that there'll be enough slots available for everyone. So even on Saturday, you should be able to see some slots. Also, if there are no questions, I wanted to talk about a couple of points regarding mentorship. First thing, दुईटा slot गर्नै पर्छ भन्ने छैन. That's just the maximum rule that we have. एउटा मात्रै गरे पनि हुन्छ. अनि अर्को कुरा चाहिँ why mentorship भन्ने पनि question होला, like what mentors are going to do. So basically, first thing, if you are working on a project, you need some guidance, you want some feedback regards to कस्तो भइरहेछ मेरो project, is it going in the right direction? भनेर like get feedbacks from experts. For example, if you're stuck on something related with data, then maybe you can reach out to someone who is open to mentorship in the data field, right? If you're stuck, if you're thinking about, okay, how do I make my demo even more persuasive, more interactive, more entertaining, or like more so that you get maximum points, maybe look at mentors who are willing to help you with that. So definitely book a slot. We want every team have at least 1 slot for mentorship open because this is one, your chance to get feedback on your project from an expert who has been in the industry for many, many years. 2, it's also a good networking opportunity for you, right? For you and your team to get to know someone who's already working in the industry. And maybe this could be one chance for your prolonged communication in the future where you can have mentorship even beyond the hackathon. So we strongly encourage you and your team to have at least one mentorship slot filled up with one mentor. But you don't have to do two, but if you feel like, you can do maximum 2 slots.
Amazing. Wow, it seems like we're gonna spend the entire night together here, guys. So, any last questions? Going once, going twice, and sold. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for hopping on our workshop number 2. I hope this was super helpful. I know, because I know Binit Dai poured his heart and soul and his time for this. So, Binit Dai, thank you so much for that. So that said, I'm super excited to see all of you guys make some kind of amazing project for the hackathon.